Hello, 7th graders. This is Miss White, and today we're doing Lesson 13, Inequalities. We're going to be starting with the opening exercise, and for this, you're going to want to use a calculator. Tarek is trying to save $265.49 to buy a new tablet. Right now, he has $40, and he can save $38 a week from his allowance. Write and evaluate an expression to represent the amount of money saved after the following weeks here. Let's write the expression that represents the amount of money saved after the following weeks here. So we know that he needs a total of $265.49. And we know he has $40 right now. And then we're adding $38 a week. And we can use the variable W to represent the amount of weeks that he's been saving up. Let's start here with 2 weeks. So he has $40 plus 38 times 2. And now you're going to take your calculator and calculate 38 times 2. That's going to give us 76. So now we have 40 plus 76. And that's going to give us a value of 116. So he cannot buy his tablet yet. All right, let's look at 3 weeks. I have 40 plus 38 times 3 for the 3 weeks. Now take your calculator, 38 times 3, and that's going to give us a total of 114. So now we have 40 plus 114, and by using your calculator, that's going to give us a total of 154. All right, let's go to 4 weeks. So now I have 40 plus 38 times 4. Multiply 38 times 4 in your calculator. That's going to give us a total of 152. So now I have 40 plus 152, and that's going to give us a total of 192. Okay, 5 weeks. Now I have 40 plus 38 times 5. Go ahead and multiply 38 and 5 into your calculator. That's going to give us 190. So now I have 40 plus 190, and that's going to give me 230. Now let's think about this for a second. Is this still enough money for the tablet? No. So let's go ahead and do 6 weeks as well. So I have 40 plus 38 times 6. Go ahead and multiply 38 times 6 into your calculator. You are going to get a total of 228. So now I have 40 plus 228, and that is going to give me 268. So now, has he finally saved up enough money for his tablet? Well, the answer is yes. Now that we know that Tarek has saved up enough money for his tablet, which took him 6 weeks, we do not need to do 7 and 8 because we understand that by now he has enough money for his tablet. So when will Tarek have enough money to buy his tablet? Well, from 6 weeks and onward. Now we need to write an inequality that will generalize the problem. So the formula that we've been using is 40 plus 38W. Let's think about the total value. We need this value to be equal to or greater than the amount of the tablet in order to buy it. So we know that our amount for the tablet was $265.49. And so for Tarek to have enough money, here's our inequality that 40 plus 38 times the amount of weeks he saves up needs to be either equal to or greater than $265.49, which is the cost of the tablet. Now we're going to start with the exercises. Number 1, Connor went to the county fair with $22.50 in his pocket. He bought a hot dog and a drink for $3.75, and then he wanted to spend the rest of his money on ride tickets, which cost $1.25 each. Write an inequality to represent the total spent, where R is the number of tickets purchased. We know that Connor has $22.50 in his pocket. And when we write our inequality, we know that he is not allowed to spend more than that because that's all that he has. So the sign that we're going to use is our less than and equal to. Now again, realize that because 2250 is the amount that he has, then this is going to be our greater value. He cannot spend any more than this. So now we are going to try to figure out, by using our less than or equal to sign, how many rides he can buy at the fair. We know the rides cost $1.25 each, and so we're going to use R to represent the number of tickets purchased for those rides, plus $3.75, which he has in his pocket. Here is the inequality statement we're going to use for B. Connor wants to use this inequality to determine whether he can purchase 10 tickets. Use substitution to show whether he will have enough money. So here, we're going to substitute 10 in for R. So now my equation is 125 times 10 plus 375 is less than or greater than 250. All right, now let's think about order of operations. When we do order of operations, what do we do first? Add, subtract, or multiply and divide? We multiply and divide first. So let's multiply by using a calculator. 125 times 10. 125 times 10 is going to give us 1250. So now we have 1250 plus 375 is less than or equal to 2250. Now let's go ahead and combine our values here. We have 1250 plus 375. And that is going to give us a total of 1625. So 1625 is less than or equal to 2250. Now, is this statement correct? Yeah, it is. So will he have enough money to purchase the 10 tickets? Yes. So this statement is true. Let's move on to C. What is the total maximum number of tickets he can buy based upon the given information? Here is our inequality that we're going to use to solve this. The goal is to get our variable R by itself. Let's look at our equation. On the left, we see our R, and we have a value next to it, which is 375. We want to get rid of that 375. To do that, we need to think about the additive inverse. What is the additive inverse of 375? That is negative 375. Now when I write my new inequality, I'm going to have 125R plus 375, and then I'm going to combine it with its additive inverse, which is negative 375. Now remember, what I do on one side, I have to do to the other. So I have less than or equal to 2250 minus 375. Now, on the left side of our inequality, we're going to have 125R. Because we know that 375 minus 375 is going to give us 0. So now we have 175R is less than or equal to 2250 minus 375. That is going to give us 1875. I now have 125R is less than or equal to 1875. To get R by itself, I need to think of what my multiplicative inverse of 125 is. The reason why I need to know my multiplicative inverse is because I see that 125 and R are being multiplied by one another. So what is the multiplicative inverse of 125? It's going to be 1 over 125. Now what I do to the one side, I have to do to the other. So I have 1 over 125. I know that any value times its multiplicative inverse is going to give me 1. Now I have 1R is less than or equal to 18.75 over 125. Go ahead and calculate this in your calculator. All right, your answer is 15. Now, what is the maximum number of tickets he can buy? Well, he can buy up to 15 tickets. Now we're moving on to lesson 14, solving inequalities. We will be doing the examples that start on page 88. Example 1. A youth summer camp has budgeted $2,000 for the campers to attend the carnival. The cost for each camper is $17.95, which includes general admission to the carnival and 2 meals. The youth summer camp must also pay $250 for the chaperones to attend the carnival and $350 for transportation to and from the carnival. What is the greatest number of campers who can attend the carnival if the camp must stay within its budgeted amount? The budget that the camp must stay in is $2,000. And because it's $2,000, then that means that we're going to use a less than or equal to sign. This shows is that whatever they're going to pay here is going to be less than or equal to our $2,000. Now, let's relook at the cost. For each camper, it is $17.95. So I know that for each camper, it's $17.95, and we're going to use C to represent the number of campers that we're going to have go. Then they have to pay another $250 for the chaperones to attend. And then they have to pay $350 for transportation. So the total amount of costs must be less than or equal to $2,000, which is their budget. Our goal is to find the number of campers that can attend the carnival, and so we're going to use C to represent that. Let's get C to be by itself. First of all, let's combine any like terms. Here, I see that $250 and $350 are the same term. So let's go ahead and combine those. I have $17.95C plus $250 plus $350, which is going to give me $600, is less than or equal to $2,000. Now that I combine my like terms, I still need to get C by itself. Let's look at the value next to it. We have 600. To get rid of that 600, I need to think of 600's additive inverse. The additive inverse of 600 is going to be negative 600. So when I rewrite this out, I'm going to have 1795C plus 600 minus 600 is less than or equal to 2,000 minus 600. Remember, what we do on one side, we have to do to the other. Now let's combine those like terms. If I have 600 minus 600, that's going to give me 0. So now on the left side of my inequality, I just have 1795C is less than or greater to 2,000 minus 600. 2,000 minus 600 is going to give us 1,400. Now on the left side of my inequality, I still need to get C by itself. Because C is being multiplied by 1795, I need to think of the multiplicative inverse. What is the multiplicative inverse of 1795? Well, that is 1 over 1795. And remember, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. All right, when we have a value and we multiply it by its multiplicative inverse, we get 1. So now on the left side of my inequality, I have 1C is less than or equal to 1,400 over 1795. Go ahead and calculate this problem in your calculator. Our answer is going to be 7799. Now that we know that C is less than or equal to 7799, that means in order for the camp to stay in budget, the greatest number of campers who can attend a carnival is 77 campers. Let's move on to example 3. Several vendors at the carnival sell products and advertise their businesses. Shane works for a recreational company that sells ATVs, dirt bikes, snowmobiles, and motorcycles. His boss paid him $500 for working all of the days at the carnival, plus 5% commission on all the sales made at the carnival. What was the minimum amount of sales Shane needed to make if he earned more than $1,500? Shane's end goal here is to make $1,500. So that means that this needs to be the lesser amount of what he is going to make, because it says if he earned more than $1,500. So now we're going to be using a greater sign. We know that he gets paid $500 for working all of the days, and that 5% commission of all the sales made at the carnival. So to represent that 5% commission, we're going to represent that as 5 over 100. That will give us our 5%. And then we're going to let S represent the sales and dollars made during the carnival. So now, normally you do not have to do this, but I'm going to rewrite out this problem. So I'm going to have my commission first. So I'm going to have 5 over 100 S plus 500 is greater than 1,500. To know the amount of sales that he made, we need to get S by itself. First, I see the term of 500 that doesn't have a variable with it. So what I'm going to do is think, what is the additive inverse of 500? Well, the additive inverse of 500 is negative 500. So I'm going to add negative 500 to both sides of my inequality. On the left side of my inequality, let's combine like terms. I have 500 minus 500. That's going to give me 0. So now on the left side, I just have 5 over 100 S is greater than 1,500 minus 500, which is going to give me 1,000. Now on the left side of my inequality, I have 5 over 100 S. To get S by itself, I need to think about what is the multiplicative inverse of 5 over 100. Well, that is actually going to be 100 over 5. Now remember, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Looking at the left side here, I know any value times its multiplicative inverse is going to give me 1. So now I have 1S is greater than 1,000 times 100 divided by 5. So 1,000 times 100 is going to give me 100,000 over 5. Go ahead and type that into your calculator for me. All right, 100,000 divided by 5 is actually going to give me 20,000. So I know that the amount of sales, now I know that the sales had to be more than 20,000 for Shane to earn more than 1,500.